silabbata-paramasa, usually translated as attachment to rites and rituals or clinging to rites and rituals. While that is not maybe the best way to translate it, because it limits the scope of this particular fetter. It's called a samyojana, one of the basic and most fundamental three fetters or mental defilements which the stream enterer abandons. It's that which really binds beings to this samsara. So it might be more useful to describe it as a kind of misapprehension, misunderstanding, and attachment to some of these ways of behavior that we habitually perform. Sila might be like certain precepts that we undertake, and if we do that without full awareness, without clearly understanding what we are doing, it becomes a form of attachment, a fetter. Precepts being sila, and then vata, the second part of this compound. That can be any sort of certain practices or vows, you could say, that people undertake, things we determine to do, practices, even meditation practices, monastic practices, special observances that people undertake. And all these things, if they are done, if they are undertaken from the point of view, from the basic delusion of, I'm doing this to prove something to myself or to others, I'm doing this as a kind of a self-project, a me and mine investment to really prove to myself how good I am, how I can do these things, I can build myself up into something that really feels good. Then that turns into what we call a samyojana, a fetter. Sure, we can still do all these practices and undertake precepts, follow precepts very consistently, but just knowing the true nature of reality and having the right attitude to it, that's the crucial difference. Whereas with the silabbata-paramasa, what often happens is people do certain things just either under group pressure, or just following along with the group, or just not very reflectively, just because it's a customary practices. And then merely by performing these things, they think, automatically the mind will be purified by that. Automatically I'm accomplishing something. And that's all based on a kind of some misconception, and it's certainly based on self-delusion. Whereas, ideally, as the Buddha says in the Sutta Nipata, he says that the way he discovered, the way he teaches, he's not making sila and vata into something that's kind of essential. He says those who take these things to be the essential point, they're kind of missing the point, because what he is really pointing at is the abandoning of clinging, of identification with the five khandhas, and understanding this whole process rather than undertaking any particular practices as an end in itself.